Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. It is a game that kind of existed, sort of. There was campaign for it. There was never any multiplayer, but people always wanted the multiplayer for it. Personally, I think Modern Warfare 2 is one of the best games of all time. The ability to just literally hop into any game and get a 7-kill streak and all of a sudden have a nuke because everything in the game was so overpowered was so much fun to me. And what if I told you this game actually does exist? I have gameplay of it. You can see it. And in fact, it's even better than you're probably imagining because it doesn't just involve Modern Warfare 2. It involves pretty much every Call of Duty game ever. It should have been one of the best Call of Duty games ever to be released. The problem is, Activision wasn't making it. But yeah, it was Call of Duty. So that is what we're going to be diving into today. I'm going to be showing you gameplay of it, what it looks like, and why it will probably never come to be. It would probably be the Call of Duty game I would play the most of all time. And if you're playing a lot of video games, you need to pick yourself up a pair of these. These are Gamer Advantage glasses. They're absolutely amazing. They can help you game longer, less eye strain, no eye redness or anything like that. It'll help you sleep at night so you can get up the next day and do the same thing all over again. And if you want to pick up yourself a pair, it is always linked down in the description. They're a big partner of the channel. And if you use code INK at checkout, you can save yourself 10% on your order. So if you want to help support the channel, check out that link down in the description. But anyway, this is Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, or what we should really be calling it, SM2. So what you are seeing here is SM2. Now, essentially what this is a fan went in and said, I miss old school Call of Duty. And then he was like, we're going to remaster Modern Warfare 2. And then he said, you know what? We're not going to stop there. This is going to be free to play. And on top of all of this, it's not just going to feature things from Modern Warfare 2. We're going to take things from all of the Call of Duty series, the best of the best, put it into one game. Kind of like what Call of Duty Online was, but completely fan-made, free to play, and really just a passion project. Now, what this was going to feature at launch was 100 plus weapons on release, complete with attachments and camos that you can earn, 24 perks. They were going to use the point streak system from Modern Warfare 3, which would include assault, support, and specialist. So I'm assuming there would be a nuke in there as well. A new currency system, kind of like Black Ops 1, where you could get currency in game and then wager it in wager matches like gun game and things like that. A melee weapon slot, similar to what they did with Modern Warfare Remastered, where you could always have a melee weapon, some of which were insane, like a baguette. A new progression system that was essentially going to be the old Call of Duty Prestige progression system. A complete redesign of all of the menus and in-game items that you would see, like HUDs and things like that. User interface would be completely different than the original Modern Warfare 2. It was only going to be on PC, but they were going to have aim-assisted controller support. And there was just a ton. They basically took all of these Call of Duty games, put them into one to create this amazing passion project of a Call of Duty game. Now, this was something that I was very excited for. One of the biggest problems, I think, with current multiplayer Call of Duty is that it is not free to play. The model that they are using is a essentially free to play system where there's battle pass, there's microtransactions, but to get a hold of this game, you got to pay $70 every single year. And there's a couple of problems with that. First of all, there's a barrier to entry that Warzone, for example, doesn't have. You have to pay the money to get your hands on the game. And then after that, you are then waiting for updates to happen to improve the game. And it seems like they're just trying to take the money from both sides of it and put it into one thing. And because of that, the fan base of a game never really builds the way that I think it could if there wasn't a new multiplayer game coming every single year. So the game never gets as big as it potentially could if it was free to play. And on top of that, every single year, the previous game loses everything, your progression, everything you worked for. So really, what's the point of playing a game if every single year you're going to have to start from ground zero? So enter SM2. They're going to bring back many things that people liked from previous Call of Duty games, weapons from all of these different games, maps from all of these different games, put it into one giant game that people could play. Now, you may be wondering a couple of things at this point. Number one, how is this legal? And number two, why has Activision never done this? And the answer to the second is very simple. They make way too much money off of a yearly release, literally billions of dollars, for them to stop doing that. So by releasing a free-to-play game, they would lose all of that upfront every single year. Now, they're not accounting for what they would make in microtransactions. I believe they have made billions more off of microtransactions since they released free-to-play Warzone than they ever would otherwise. As far as the legal side of thing, Activision is notorious for sending out cease and desist letters to random companies. One of the bigger ones that we saw recently was with Fortnite Creative. People were making literally Call of Duty maps within Fortnite Creative, and then they stepped in and said, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna get in some legal trouble, and poof, gone was Rust in Fortnite. Well, fast forward to SM2. Originally, they were making this on the old Modern Warfare 2 engine. Recently, they put out a dev update stating that they were going to be moving the game to the Modern Warfare Remastered engine so that there was better visual fidelity and they could work the game a little bit better. Well, turns out Activision was once again having none of it, and recently, as of yesterday, sent out a cease and desist letter to the SM2 developers. So this amazing Call of Duty game that was going to be a passion project and a love letter to Call of Duty will now most likely never exist. But what is crazy about this is this has been in development for 2 years. Betas were put out and over 100,000 players have actually got their hands on this. And they were very upfront when they were making this that this was essentially going to be a remastered Call of Duty game. But years went by and Activision said nothing until this week. And we could speculate till the cows come home as to why that would happen. However, it did. And now this game that has been created for over 2 years will probably never see the light of day. Now, this is hugely disappointing to me because the multiplayer that they were creating here honestly sounded a lot better than the multiplayer that has been made in the past few Call of Duty games. Now, if I was Activision, I would not be sending a cease and desist letter. I would be hiring these people. I would be going out and saying, okay, you're creating something great here, but with the power of Activision, if we buy your game, come work for us, help lead this game, and we will release it as the free-to-play game like you're asking, but with all the power of Activision and other studios behind it. Why they don't do this? Once again, because of those billions of dollars that they are making every single year when a new Call of Duty game is released. Now, I want to be clear, when I say this next part, this is coming from someone who is deeply invested in the Call of Duty lore, loves the story of the game, and loves Call of Duty campaigns. I truly believe that the model that Call of Duty is released in needs to be vastly changed, where it is entirely free to play, multiplayer, Warzone, and DMZ. Yes, that would mean a big spike in microtransactions, and yeah, you'd probably end up spending more money on the game, but it going free to play would make a lot more people play it, and in the long term, I believe make them a lot more money. The question with this is, why wouldn't they do this if they're going to make more money in the long run? The answer is that yearly release once again. However, if they free up their studios from creating this multiplayer game, what they could do is release anthology campaigns, something like the Dark Pictures anthology, where every 6 months, 1 year, they release a $30 to $40 Call of Duty campaign that is longer, more in depth, better story, better cutscenes, because that is all the studios have to focus on. Make a fourth studio, not Sledgehammer, not Infinity Ward, not Treyarch, that mainly focuses on just this multiplayer game, the SM2 studio, if you will. Then you can have Treyarch building out zombies. You can have Infinity Ward working on campaigns, and you can have Sledgehammer maybe overseeing DMZ or something else. And by doing this, we would have way more content coming out way more frequently, whether you have to pay for a zombies map or not, whether you'd have to pay for a campaign or things like this. There would be more content coming out more frequently. But let's be honest, everything I'm saying here is a complete dream world. This will never happen. The game you are seeing here probably will never see the light of day because Call of Duty is too proud with their yearly release cycle to ever make a change for the better. And hey, maybe that's a little bit harsh, but hey, resetting our stats every single year, making us pay for the game as a whole on top of that microtransaction bundles and a battle pass is harsh too. So yeah, if you want my money, you're gonna have to start making some better decisions. But that's my opinion. If you disagree with me, I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. But for those of you who clicked on this video hoping for a Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, I'm right there with you. Honestly, if just a Modern Warfare 2 Remastered came out right now, I wouldn't touch the current Modern Warfare 2. I would just be playing that, going for nukes every single game, and probably having a great time. But hey, like I said, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this